Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really personal and, well, transformative journey, pregnancy. Specifically, we're zooming in on that significant 15-week mark.
Yeah, it's such a turning point.
It really is. It's a point where, a lot of those early first trimester discomforts often start to fade a bit.
Mm-hmm. You start feeling a bit more human again sometimes.
Exactly. And the anticipation of what's coming next, it really starts to build. We're kind of moving past those initial hurdles and things get, well, truly remarkable. Our mission here, as always on the deep dive, is pretty simple. We want to be your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
Right.
We take a whole stack of information, like the incredibly detailed guide we're looking at today, and we pull out the most important bits, those nuggets of knowledge.
Those aha moments.
Precisely, those aha moments, all without the overwhelm of just wading through pages and pages.
And today, yeah, our focus is squarely on what's actually happening at 15 weeks pregnant. We're using a really detailed resource from BabyCenter.
Which is a great source.
Oh, absolutely. Widely regarded as a, authoritative voice in pregnancy and parenting. And what I think makes this source particularly valuable is that it doesn't just give you, simple facts.
Oh.
It weaves together this rich tapestry of info, covering everything from the baby's super rapid development to the big changes happening for the mom.
And practical stuff, too.
And crucially, offering practical advice. And it's all based on medically reviewed information and expert insights. It's genuinely a comprehensive look at this specific week, pulling from different expert views.
It really sounds like an invaluable guide for anyone at this stage, or even just curious. So our goal for you, our listener, is to unpack the key insights from all this material.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe reveal some surprising facts you didn't know, and definitely highlight the most crucial advice. We want to help you understand what's most important right now at this unique stage.
And what it all means, really.
Yeah, and maybe more importantly, what it all means for your experience or the experience of someone you know. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's kick things off with the incredible little person developing inside the baby. At 15 weeks, the transformation is it's profound.
It really is.
The BabyCenter guide says the baby is looking more like a little person. And that's not just, a vague phrase. There are real distinct features popping up that solidify that human form.
It's a huge leap from the earlier stages, the embryonic and early fetal phases. When they say looking more like a little person, the source points to specific things.
Like what?
Like delicate eyelids, tiny eyebrows and eyelashes starting to appear, actual nails emerging on fingers and toes, even like wisps of hair.
Wow.
What's truly fascinating is just the speed and precision of it all. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're intricate, delicate details making the baby unmistakably human, even this early on.
It's incredible biological programming.
That's totally a testament to it.
Right. Just think about that for a second. Imagine these tiny, almost see-through nails forming, or those little eyebrow hairs sprouting. It's honestly amazing how fast these features take shape.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean for the connection, the bond forming between parent and baby, even now, when these human features get so distinct?
Well, it definitely starts to solidify that emotional bond, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You can start to visualize the very real beginnings of who this little individual will be. It kind of shifts from an abstract idea to a really personal reality.
Absolutely. It really does. It transforms pregnancy into baby. And speaking of incredible developments, the guide highlights the start of a crucial sensory system. Taste.
Already.
Yeah, taste buds are actively forming right now. And the nerves are beginning to connect those buds to the brain. It's a foundational step for, future sensory experiences.
That's incredible. So they're starting to, prepare for tasting things even before they're born. How does that even work?
Yeah, it works in a really unique way. The source explains that by about 20 weeks, these taste buds will be fully formed, functional in a basic sense.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting, honestly often misunderstood. Molecules of what the pregnant person eats, they actually pass through the bloodstream.
Right.
And they make it into the amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
However, and this is a super crucial clarification from the guide, your baby doesn't actually taste what you're eating in the same way we perceive, like complex flavors.
Ah, okay. That's a big one.
It really is. It tackles a common misconception head on. And, the source notes it can be a relief for some people, knowing you don't need to worry about the baby, like enjoying your dinner or being put off by your spicy food.
Okay, yeah, that is a huge clarification. I know that's something people definitely wonder about. So If the baby isn't tasting food like we do with all the complexities, then what is the point of these early taste buds?
That's a great question.
And how might this early exposure to different molecular profiles in the fluid, how might that influence, say, future preferences or sensitivities? What does it mean down the line?
Yeah, excellent question. It really gets to the heart of early sensory development.
Mm,
If we try to connect this to the bigger picture, while they aren't experiencing flavor as we do, that complex mix of taste and smell, this early exposure to various molecular compounds in the amniotic fluid, it's like a profound form of sensory priming.
priming.
Yeah. It's thought that this prenatal exposure could subtly influence the baby's developing palate, maybe make them more receptive to those flavors or types of foods after they're born.
Huh. Interesting.
It's not direct taste perception, but more like a pre-exposure that prepares and shapes the sensory system. So this raises that important question. Does this early exposure lay the groundwork for, say, a broader, more adventurous palate later?
Or maybe the opposite, like sensitivities.
Or could it even impact physiological responses to certain compounds, maybe setting up early preferences or even mild aversions? It's a really fascinating area of ongoing research. Suggests our earliest meals are way more influential than we might think.
That's truly mind-blowing, the idea of a pre-palate being formed.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the microscopic, let's talk scale. At 15 weeks, the baby is often described as the size of an apple.
Right, good visual.
Yeah, it's relatable, but our source, thankfully, gives us some precise measurements, too, which really helps paint a clearer picture.
Yes, the exact dimensions from the BabyCenter guide are quite specific. The baby measures about 6.57 inches head to toe,
6.5 inches, wow.
then weighs in around 4.13 ounces. These aren't just numbers. They reflect incredible rapid growth from just a few weeks prior.
Definitely.
And a really significant physical milestone right now, one that changes their overall proportions, is that the baby's legs are now growing longer than their arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a clear shift away from that earlier sort of top-heavy look. Gives them a more balanced, familiar human silhouette.
So they're really starting to look more balanced, more proportional, like a tiny human getting ready for the next stage. It's subtle, maybe, but a big shift in how they're put together.
Exactly. And just to add a few more specifics the source mentions to bring the picture into sharper focus. The baby's genitals are now distinctly recognizable as female or male.
Right.
Those tiny eyebrow hairs we talked about, they are sprouting. And remarkably, the baby can even sense light through the pregnant person's abdomen.
Get out. Sensing light.
Yeah, it's an early form of visual development, showing sensitivity to things outside the womb.
Wow, sensing light through the abdomen. That's truly incredible. These details, they really help you grasp the sheer scale of change happening inside, don't they? It's not just this vague idea of growth, but specific, tangible, almost unbelievably rapid progress. Gives you a sense of the constant activity.
It absolutely helps visualize it. Yeah. And it's not just about physical structure. The baby's already quite active, even if, you can't feel it yet.
Right.
The BabyCenter guide points out several fascinating actions happening constantly inside. The baby's sucking a thumb, yawning, stretching, even making faces. These aren't just random twitches. They seem to be purposeful movements.
That sounds utterly adorable, honestly. Paints such a sweet picture. But here's the kicker, right? The thing that might surprise first-time parents.
Yeah.
While the baby is moving constantly, the source says you can't feel it yet. That must feel like a bit of a disconnect sometimes, knowing they're busy in there, but not getting that direct feedback yet.
It is. It's a common point of anticipation, sometimes a little anxiety even, waiting for those first little flutters or kicks.
Yeah.
What are these early behaviors, like thumb-sucking, facial expressions? What do they tell us about the baby's developing reflexes, maybe even their emerging personality?
Good question.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, these aren't just random, aimless movements. No. They are absolutely foundational to skills the baby will need after birth.
Like what?
Like thumb-sucking is a critical reflex for feeding.
Right.
It also shows early self-soothing behavior and developing oral motor skills.
Okay.
Yawning and stretching. Those are early forms of self-regulation and physical development. They help stretch muscles, prepare for coordinated movements later on.
So it's like practice.
Essentially, yeah. Practice sessions for life outside the womb. Refining those neurological pathways and muscle coordination that will be essential in just a few short months. It's like a little internal gym, setting the stage for independence.
That's fascinating. A mini gym inside.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, If they're already practicing these complex moves, what other skills are being laid down that we can't even see?
Right.
And while all this amazing stuff is happening with the baby, the pregnant person's body is also going through some major and sometimes surprising shifts. Let's dive into some of the common physiological changes around week 15. And the first one might sound a bit mundane, but it's incredibly common. Nasal congestion, a stuffy nose.
Indeed. And it's often not just a random cold, though it can feel exactly like one. There's a specific condition the BabyCenter guide mentions called rhinitis of pregnancy.
Rhinitis of pregnancy, okay.
Yeah. The source explains it's due to the combined effect of hormonal changes and increased blood flow to your mucous membranes.
Ah, the membranes in your nose.
Exactly. Those delicate, moist linings. The increased blood volume in pregnancy makes them more likely to swell up, get congested. Leads to that stuffy feeling.
It's weird how hormones affect things like your nose.
Isn't it? A
Yeah.
subtle but, persistent reminder that your whole body is undergoing this massive systemic overhaul.
And luckily, the source gives some clear, practical ways to get relief.
Mm-hmm.
Things like using a humidifier or vaporizer, especially at night, to add moisture to the air. Elevating your head with extra pillows when you sleep helps with drainage.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, drinking plenty of fluids to stay hydrated, which can thin mucus, all pretty straightforward comfort measures. They also mention saline nasal spray, just salt water, basically.
Yeah, a gentle, drug-free option.
Okay.
But here's the crucial caution the source gives, and it's really vital we stress this. Don't use decongestants or other medications during pregnancy without talking to your healthcare provider.
Right. Super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this raises that important question. Why is it so vital to be cautious with over-the-counter meds during pregnancy, even for something common like a stuffy nose?
Yeah, why?
Well, it's because many active ingredients, even in stuff that seems harmless, can cross the placental barrier.
Oh, right.
And their effects on the developing baby often haven't been properly studied, or they could potentially be harmful. So always check with a doctor or a midwife, even for something you'd normally grab without a second thought. It's all about prioritizing the baby's safety.
That's such a key takeaway. Even small choices matter. And related to that increased blood flow, another common symptom the source flags is nosebleeds.
Yeah, that one surprises people sometimes.
I bet.
The BabyCenter guide notes that about 20% of pregnant women have nosebleeds. And again, it's directly linked to that increased blood volume and blood vessel expansion in the nose.
More blood, weaker vessels.
Pretty much. Your body makes significantly more blood to support the baby. That increased volume, plus the dilation of tiny, fragile blood vessels in the nose, just makes them more prone to bursting. Voila, a nosebleed.
Okay.
Usually harmless, more of an annoyance, really. But the source does stress you should tell your provider if you're having frequent nosebleeds. Could indicate something else, or maybe you just need tips on managing them.
And crucially, there's a very clear instruction for when it is an emergency, which listeners absolutely need to know.
Yes.
If the blood flow is really heavy or it doesn't stop after applying pressure for 30 minutes, you need to call 911 or go to the emergency room.
Absolutely critical distinction elevates it from just annoying to potentially serious.
Okay. Another common, though often uncomfortable, symptom the source talks about is heartburn.
Ugh, heartburn, yes. The guide describes it as a burning sensation in your chest that usually occurs after eating or at night.
Familiar to many, pregnant or not.
Right. But it can actually pop up for the first time during pregnancy. And guess what? Again, it's due to those profound physical and hormonal changes, thanks progesterone.
Ah, progesterone again. The gift that keeps on giving, eh? It really is the master hormone in pregnancy, isn't it?
It truly is. Its main job is relaxing smooth muscles all over your body. Now, that relaxation is vital. It stops the uterus from contracting too early, lets it grow.
Right. Important job.
Very. But unfortunately, it also relaxes the sphincter muscle, the little valve at the top of your stomach.
Oh, okay.
So stomach acid can flow back up into the esophagus. That causes the burning feeling we call heartburn, same relaxation effect helping your uterus, but with these ripple effects on digestion.
Wow, fascinating connection.
It's common, generally harmless, but can be really uncomfortable. The source advises checking strategies for relief, usually dietary tweaks, avoiding trigger foods, timing meals, maybe approved antacids.
Makes perfect sense how one hormone does so much. And another often overlooked symptom the source brings up, swollen gums. Pregnancy gingivitis.
Yes. This affects about half of pregnant women, apparently. Causes gums to get swollen, red, tender, sometimes bleed easily when you brush.
Half. That's a lot.
It is, and it's partly caused by hormonal changes that make your gums more sensitive to the bacteria in plaque.
Ah, hormones again.
Always. This symptom, often overlooked, really highlights how these systemic hormonal shifts impact even seemingly unrelated parts of the body, doesn't it?
Definitely underscores that interconnectedness.
It's not just the uterus and breast changing, it's a whole body thing.
Hmm.
Your body's adapting in countless ways, sometimes with these surprising side effects like sensitive gums. And that sensitivity to plaque can increase the risk of gum inflammation, so good oral hygiene becomes even more critical.
That's a great point about systemic impact. So if your gums are bleeding when you brush or floss, you are definitely not alone.
Not at all.
And the BabyCenter guide really hammers home the importance of dental care here. Good care of your teeth and gums during pregnancy
Essential.
means brushing gently twice a day, flossing daily, and importantly, visiting the dentist for a checkup and cleaning.
People worry about that sometimes.
Yeah, it's a common worry. Is dental work safe? But
Yeah.
the source clearly reassures it's safe to go to the dentist while pregnant. Just obviously tell the staff you're pregnant so they can take precautions, like maybe skipping certain x-rays. Okay, good to know. Moving on from symptoms to other changes, let's talk pregnancy weight gain. By 15 weeks, the source says many have said goodbye to first trimester nausea and food aversions.
Which can be a massive relief.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, allowing you to start enjoying food again
Right.
without that constant battle against feeling sick or being put off by everything.
So the guide gives a guideline here. If you started pregnancy at a healthy weight, the aim is to gain about a pound a week for the rest of your pregnancy.
Right, a general guideline. Obviously, it varies based on starting BMI, if you're carrying twins, things like that. Always best to discuss specifics with your provider.
Of course. And it also mentions caloric needs. You need about 340 extra calories a day in the second trimester.
A bit more fuel in the tank.
But, and this is crucial, it's not just about adding calories. The source really stresses making those calories count with healthy, nutrient-packed pregnancy snacks.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. It connects directly to the baby's massive growth spurt and your body's increasing demands for energy and nutrients, making sure every bite contributes to healthy development, focusing on foods rich in vitamins, minerals, protein, healthy fats.
Precisely. Those extra calories aren't just for maintenance. They're fueling rapid development in the baby and supporting huge changes in your own body. More blood, growing breast tissue, the works.
And then there's the change everyone sees, which often becomes more obvious around now, the ever-changing pregnant belly.
Ah, yes, the bump.
The source emphasizes that how much someone is showing is different for every woman.
So true. Comparison is the thief of joy here.
Totally. I know many first-time moms often show later than those who've been pregnant before, and our source explains why. It's because the abdominal and uterine muscles haven't been stretched by a previous pregnancy, so they offer more resistance initially.
Makes sense.
So yeah, no need to compare yourself to others. Every pregnancy is unique.
Exactly. And this brings us to that very common in-between phase.
Oh,
yeah. Where regular clothes feel uncomfortable, but you're not quite ready for maternity clothes. That awkward stage where your jeans won't button, but full maternity gear feels like overkill.
Definitely relatable. What can you do?
Well, the source offers some great practical solutions for temporary fixes. Things like yoga pants, stretchy skirts, and belly bands.
Belly bands.
Yeah, those stretchy fabric bands you wear over unbuttoned pants to hold them up and cover the gap. They can extend the life of your regular clothes and give immediate comfort. But when those tricks aren't cutting it anymore, and you're constantly adjusting or feeling restricted, the guide basically says it's time to go shopping for some maternity staples.
Okay, time to embrace the maternity wear.
And they even highlight creative ways to find affordable maternity clothes, specifically mentioning online secondhand stores and clothing swaps with friends. Really practical tips, given how temporary the need is for some items.
Good advice. Beyond just physical comfort, though, that growing belly, it carries significant emotional weight, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's the most visible sign of new life, that constant, beautiful reminder of that incredible transformation happening inside.
Yeah.
For many, it marks a real shift in identity, not just physically, but emotionally, too. The reality of becoming a parent becomes much more tangible. It's a very public display of a private journey, and for some, it brings an even deeper sense of connection and excitement.
That's beautifully put. Okay, so we've covered a lot about the baby and the physical changes, but the 15-week mark also feels like a time to start thinking ahead, doesn't it? Practical preparations.
It really is. It often coincides with feeling better physically, so you have more energy for planning. And one significant medical decision that often comes up around this time is amniocentesis.
Right, the amnio. What does the source say about that?
Well, the BabyCenter guide clearly explains its purpose. It's a diagnostic test where they take a small sample of the amniotic fluid, the fluid surrounding the baby.
Okay.
That fluid contains fetal cells. Analyzing those cells can tell you whether your baby has genetic or chromosomal abnormalities, like Down syndrome or cystic fibrosis.
And the timing is key here.
Timing is crucial. It's usually done between 15 and 20 weeks of pregnancy. So 15 weeks is right in that window where discussions about it might happen. The advice is clear. If you're considering it, talk to your healthcare provider to get it scheduled and, importantly, discuss the risks and benefits for you.
This raises a really important point, though, doesn't it? That balance between getting potentially vital genetic information and managing the anxiety that can come with any diagnostic test, especially one that carries even a small risk from the procedure itself.
It's a deeply personal decision. There are complex ethical and emotional considerations involved, for sure.
Absolutely.
And it really is a conversation to have with your healthcare provider. They can help you understand the benefits and risks in your specific situation based on your history, screening results, personal values.
Okay. Moving to something perhaps less medical, but still really relevant to overall well-being, sex during pregnancy. What does the source say?
It offers pretty reassuring news, actually. It states that in most cases, you can continue to have sex during pregnancy right up until your water breaks or you go into labor, assuming, of course, your doctor hasn't advised against it for specific medical reasons.
Good to know. And it even highlights some potential positives, especially for the second trimester.
It does. It notes that for many people, your sex drive comes back full force around now, as that early pregnancy nausea and fatigue often ease up.
A welcome return for some.
Could be. And also, thanks to increased blood flow and lubrication in the pelvic area, sex may feel better than ever.
Interesting.
It's an important point to include. It addresses a common question, helps normalize intimacy during pregnancy, and reinforces that holistic view of well-being. Pregnancy doesn't necessarily mean putting your entire relationship on pause.
Absolutely. Okay, beyond the physical, nurturing, mental, and emotional health is just as critical during this time.
Hugely important,
The source suggests keeping a pregnancy journal.
which can be a wonderfully therapeutic practice.
I love this idea. They say journaling is good for you, whether it's, a fancy physical journal or just jotting notes on your phone.
Right. Whatever works.
It gives you an outlet to process all the emotions, the changes you're going through, and the future value is pretty significant too. You'll love sharing these stories with your child someday.
Definitely.
How might documenting this journey enrich that parent-child bond later on? It's like creating a time capsule of their earliest beginnings and your deepest feelings. A unique personal history.
It's an invaluable keepsake, no doubt. It provides this tangible narrative of where they came from and your journey into parenthood. Offers insights into your hopes, fears, joys during that incredible time. Another really powerful tool for mental well-being the guide highlights is practicing affirmations.
Affirmations. Okay, tell us more.
The source defines an affirmation as a positive statement you repeat to yourself to overcome negative thinking, or just to reinforce a positive outlook.
And they give some really good concrete examples. Things like, I trust my body to know what to do.
Powerful.
I am resilient, strong, and brave. Or even just the simple, I got this. These aren't just, feel-good fluff. They're active mental tools.
They really are. And importantly, the source points out that research shows that affirmations can have positive long-term effects on your mental and emotional health.
Research-backed. Nice.
Yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, mental prep, and positive self-talk, just as crucial as physical health during pregnancy.
Right.
Pregnancy is a marathon, right?
And definitely not a sprint.
Exactly. It takes immense physical and emotional resilience. Affirmations help build that inner strength, manage anxiety, cultivate a sense of calm and capability as you navigate this demanding but incredible journey. It's about empowering yourself from the inside out.
Absolutely. And speaking of physical well-being, getting into a good exercise routine can be really beneficial. The source suggests starting one now around the second trimester, especially if energy levels are bouncing back.
Yes, it notes that now is a good time to start a regular pregnancy workout, if you feel up to it, as the nausea often eases and energy returns for many.
Makes sense.
And what's particularly interesting is how the source emphasizes the motivation and support aspect.
Huh.
Joining a class can help motivate you to stick with it.
Ah, the group effect.
Totally. And many women find that prenatal exercise classes are a wonderful way to bond with and get support from other moms-to-be. It's a great way to meet people going through the same thing, share tips, build that vital support network.
That's a huge benefit. Beyond just the physical fitness, that community aspect is so important for mental and emotional health during pregnancy, too.
Absolutely.
And the source gives some great examples of suitable options. Water exercise, which is low impact, prenatal yoga or Pilates, great for strength and flexibility, a walking group, simple but effective, or even a prenatal dance class.
Lots of choices.
Yeah, lots of choices to find something that fits your style and fitness level, making it easier to stick with.
And this really highlights that beyond just fitness, these activities offer significant social and emotional boosts too. Fostering community, shared experience, it's all connected.
Definitely. And on the purely practical planning front, the BabyCenter guide mentions comprehensive second trimester to-do lists.
Lists. Very helpful for staying organized.
Oh, for all the list makers listening, this is gold. These lists cover critical things like financial planning, maybe budgeting for baby stuff, looking into leave policy,
The important stuff.
signing up for childbirth classes, LeMay's, Bradley method, whatever fits to prepare for labor, and even considering childcare options, even if it feels early.
Getting a head start.
Exactly. The implication is clear. Planning ahead, even just starting to think about these things, can seriously reduce stress later on, turns potential overwhelm into manageable steps.
Absolutely. Proactive planning is key for feeling less anxious and more in control. And finally, the guide includes some fun and personal explorations too, a nice lighthearted touch.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
They mentioned the baby gender predictor tools.
The old wives' tales.
Pretty much. They quickly clarify these are highly unscientific, but just for fun, noting they have an inherent 50-50 chance of being right anyway.
Huh. I appreciate the honesty. Good to have a bit of fun.
Right. And they also briefly mentioned other BabyCenter quizzes, things like BabyCenter Zodiac, which is playful, based on due dates.
Okay.
Uncover your nesting personality, exploring how you might prepare your home. Find your pregnancy energy level, helping you gauge where you're at, and discover your pregnancy style.
Just little diversions.
Exactly. Clearly framed as lighthearted ways to engage personally with the journey. Add a touch of whimsy.
And while they're not medically crucial, they do add that layer of personalization, enjoyment.
They highlight the diverse ways people connect with this massive life change. Allows for a bit of self-reflection, maybe a laugh, amidst all the serious stuff. A recognition that pregnancy is also a personal adventure.
And it absolutely is. Wow. Okay, we've really covered a lot today. A true deep dive into the 15th week of pregnancy.
I have.
We talked about the baby's fascinating, super fast development, those forming taste buds, defining features, the constant movement, like little practice sessions.
The mini gym?
The mini gym, exactly. And we unpacked the big physical and emotional shifts for the pregnant person, those common symptoms like congestion, nosebleeds, heartburn, how hormones are running the show systemically.
And how to manage them.
And how to manage them, right. And we touched on those crucial practical steps and preparations that can make the journey smoother, more enjoyable, medical decisions, journaling, finding community through exercise.
You've definitely got a shortcut now to being well-informed about this incredible stage. You're armed with specifics, a clearer understanding of what's happening inside and out.
Hopefully.
Knowing these details, it really can empower you on your path. Helps you feel more in control, more connected to the whole process. It's more than just facts. It's understanding the profound journey that's unfolding.
And as always, we like to leave you with a thought to mull over, something building on what we discussed.
Okay.
Thinking back to the baby's developing sense of taste and how those molecules from the mother's diet get into the amniotic fluid. If the baby is being subtly primed by these flavors and compounds even before birth, what does that very early, almost subliminal exposure mean for their future?
Interesting question.
Could that earliest taste of the world inside the womb, that first chemical encounter, actually influence their relationship with food later on? Or maybe even how they respond to their environment once they arrive?
Wow.
What does this earliest form of sensory learning really mean for how we think about early development as a whole, suggesting influences that start way, way before their first breath?
That's a profound question.
Yeah.
It definitely extends beyond just food preferences, doesn't it? Touches on how those very early sensory experiences, even ones we're barely aware of, might shape our foundational interactions with the world.
Something to think about.
Definitely. And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, we really encourage you to explore related topics mentioned in the BabyCenter source material.
Yeah.
Maybe digging into all about pregnancy ultrasounds to understand imaging better, or Perhaps your complete guide to sex during pregnancy for more detail on intimacy during this time. That could be your next fascinating discovery. There's always more to learn on this incredible journey.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We look forward to exploring more fascinating topics with you again soon.